I've got one pick for every NBA game every day here on Bets for Breakfast, both a spread and a player prop. Yesterday we went 13-9. Player props went 8-3. Game spreads went 5-6. On the season totals 36-16 since I started this format. Stick with me, hit that sub button, like the video, and I will continue to do this video. One pick for every game, NBA, MLB, NFL. I think this is a really good show format, and I hope you like it. Let's get to it. We've got the first game to talk about. The Nets on the road getting 9 points against the Pacers, who are the 4th seed in the East, currently 1 game ahead of the Milwaukee Bucks, who are on the road in LA tonight in a very difficult matchup against the 2 seed. Well, I should say the 2-3 seed, as they're a half game differential in the West, the Lakers. Now, this game is super important for the Pacers because they are currently just a half a game ahead of the Milwaukee Bucks for the 4th seed. If they finished 4-5, they would face each other in the first round, and on top of that, the Pacers would have home court advantage in a 7-game series. They need it. They need the W, and the Nets on the flip side of things don't care. They're playing backups for too many minutes. Cam Johnson is resting today for no reason. D'Angelo Russell takes 5 of the last 6 field goal attempts in a close game last game. In the final 2.5 minutes, Keon Johnson hooks at, I think, 18 PRA when he needed 19. Doesn't get a single shot up in the final 2.5 minutes because of D'Lo. And the Nets don't care. You'd think they'd be sitting guys like D'Angelo Russell for minutes and giving Keon Johnson 36 plus. Look at Stephon Castle out there getting some crucial time on the court to, progress as a player, and he's doing great for the Spurs. Keon Johnson should be getting the same opportunity, but it is what it is. It's tough to bet on these spots, in my opinion. I'm taking the Pacers minus 8.5. Not because I believe in them, but simply because I think the Nets are just such a mess. I am putting that out there because I have to make a pick for every game. I would not touch this with a 10-foot pole betting wise. Player props wise, let's go use the mobile web app or mysparryads.com. You guys can use that link down below. It's $9.99 for this website, and you can use it using code DONUTS for $9.99. Pretty cool. So first one I want to look at is, do we have player props for Halliburton? And yes, we do. We've got everything we need this morning. First one I want to look at are his assists. And this morning, his assists are at 10.5. Unfortunately, we couldn't get the 9.5. Makes me want to look at his double-double in a second. And we'll pop open his player card, and you can see why I want to look at the double-double. My goodness, he's been such a lock and load at 10-plus assists. Now, here's the deal. He's not played in 2 games, so he's been resting. I can't remember what his injury is. On Underdog, there's no mention of Halliburton for Thursday. I'm not entirely sure what's up, but I digress. 10.5. I kind of like the under. If it were 9.5, I like the over. At 10.5, I like the under. It's funny how that works, right? A market is not a good play or a bad play for each player. It's entirely based on the line and the odds that you're getting at that line. And I think a lot of people get that twisted. Oh, I think this person's in a great spot. They're going to pop off. Well, that's irrelevant. What are the lines set at? You could love SGA on any given night, and his line's at 37.5 points, and that's not a good play. SGA fans, Thunder fans, MVP voting fans would say, you're wrong, Donuts. I'm playing him at 49.5 points to the over any game. So Tyrese Halliburton at 10.5 is a play that I actually like to the under. He's averaged 9.5 assists on the season. He's been under in 71% of the game. Well, Mitch, he's playing a lot better as of late. Well, even still, last 15 games, he's been under in 9 of the last 15. So that 10.5 mark is quite high. It is. It's just tough. Nets do stink, though, for what it's worth. And I said I wanted to check out his double-double. Sometimes you can get a nice little value there. So the double-double essentially is him getting 10 assists. He's going to get his 10-plus points, so he virtually always does. And you're getting that minus 160 on Fliff. So essentially, you'd have to take that and parlay it with something else. So currently, I guess my first lean for the game, and I don't like it, I just have to pick it, is Halliburton under 10.5 assists. Let's take a look at Keon Johnson today and what his PRA is. Probably should just start looking at his PA market. Now, he's been bumped up to 19.5 for what it's worth. I guess maybe that's just because there's no Cam Thomas, no Cam Johnson, and they expect him to get a little bit more run. We'll take a look at his player card, and you could see it was 29-35, and then Randle goes out there against Boston, and he only plays 23 minutes. That is the most mind-boggling part of it. Again, I was just talking about it, like, you are not a good team. You are 23-46, the Nets are. Play your youngins. Don't play D'Lo 30-plus minutes and let him close out the fourth quarter in a close game against Boston and take 5 of the final 6 shots. Put Keon Johnson on the floor. Let him run. Makes no sense. They didn't put him in until the 4-minute mark in the fourth quarter. My man only had 19 minutes on the court up until that point. You can't make this up. There's no logic to close out NBA seasons. We've spent enough time on this terrible game. Let's move on to another terrible game. Hornets plus 7.5 at home makes no sense to me. Yes, LaMelo Ball is supposed to play tonight, but he was also supposed to play last time, and he didn't play. I don't care. The Hornets are terrible. Knicks minus 7.5 on the road. I don't love it. But they're just such a better team than the Hornets. The Knicks are 43-25, and they're jockeying for seeding in the East. They need to hold off the Pacers, who are 2.5 games back, and then the Bucks, 3 games back. The Hornets, on the flip side, are 3-7 in the last 10. They're 17-51 overall. They're just not good. On top of that, the Knicks have one of the better records on the road this year. Yes, I think we all can take the money line crazy juice. I'll take the Knicks minus 7.5, minus 108 on DK. They're laying those points on the road to the Hornets, but I don't get it. Give it to me, baby. On the flip side, when we're looking at the Hornets, if we're going to be looking at any player props today, it's got to be LaMelo Ball. If he does play and he gets 30-ish minutes, LaMelo Ball, his points prop this morning, I did take a quick peek. It opened at 23.5, and you can see it's there on BetMGM, 23.5. Getting bumped most books. Rebet's still 23.5. Some of these overseas, international books, Pinnacle minus 132, Bet Online minus 130. And then you've got some pick-em apps down here. Underdog 23.5. Taking that higher would be really nice, especially when you're seeing these other lines at where they are. Now, Ball has not been shooting great. He's had some opportunities, just not doing much with it as of late, only averaging 18.7 points per game in his last 10. A far cry from the 25.36 points per game on the season. And it's not because he's had no opportunity. Listen, 31 minutes against the Clippers, went 5 for 18. For whatever reason, only took 13 field goal attempts against the Spurs. He still scored 27. Atlanta, 30 minutes, took 21 field goal attempts to just narrowly hit the over there, and then took 21 against Miami and only scored 15. Randomly goes out there in a blowout, 23 minutes, 13 field goal attempts, 28 field goal attempts for 28 points. It's taking him a tremendous amount of volume to score. That being said, pick and roll ball handlers destroy the Knicks. That's basically all LaMelo does. He's pick and roll, and then he just picks and pops. He launches 12, 13 threes per game because of it. I'm not entirely sure if this becomes official, but it's absolutely on my short list, I should say. Moving on, next up, Raptors getting 14.5 points on the road against the Warriors. Listen, this is a terrible, terrible bet to make. I would not touch this game with a 10-foot pole either, but again, we make one pick for every game. Give me the Warriors minus 14. Curry's supposed to return tonight. RJ Barrett is already planned to be out in this one. Every time he's been out or one of these other guys is out, it's not like we've seen Scotty Barnes go nuclear. They're not running him enough minutes. He's been capped at 24, 26, 27 minutes in 4 of the last 5 games. And most of them have been without Barrett and some of these other players. So Toronto props, good luck. On the flip side, if the Warriors are blowing them out at the end of the third, I'm sorry, but Butler, Curry, Draymond, these guys are not going to play significant minutes in the fourth, if any at all. They're clearly already protecting themselves for the playoffs. They're protecting their veterans, giving Curry a night off a couple days ago, or maybe last night, I can't remember, but he sat on Tuesday. So he's had extended rest. He's going to come out firing. I think maybe you could look at Curry over 4.5 threes. He could still bang home 5 threes and then still sit. That's maybe an interesting look. So we'll go look at some Warriors props in a second. Warriors are jockeying to stay in the top 6. So it does matter to them. I think their starters play at least 3 quarters. All right, again, I do not feel good about tonight's props in this game, but if you're going to give me any type of look here, Curry 25.5 points does seem kind of low. We could take a look at his threes real fast. I'm actually thinking looking at pods, Healed, some of these guys, Moody off the bench, bang home some threes or something in a blowout potentially. 4.5, that's pretty good odds there, minus 120. We'll take a look at Curry. Again, if he's not getting the minutes, I don't know if this is happening. So that's a far ask. Man, even the 4.5 threes is a tough one if he doesn't play a full complement of minutes. So maybe the play would be to look at some of these other players. I don't think I can touch Curry. Got nothing for Buddy right now. Let's see. Does Moody have anything? Moody has something this morning. Maybe we'll take a look at him. 1.5 threes, Bovada. minus 120. Not too bad. Let's take a look at his points prop today. And I am looking at Moody at 11.5, 11 on Dabble. Let's take a look at his player card and see how he's been doing as of late. Extended opportunity last game with Curry sitting against them. So makes no sense. Still only played 25 minutes. Seems to be locked into his current role. The 2 plus 3-pointers is actually an interesting one to me. He should get some opportunity today. And that's mostly what he shoots. 5 of his 9 shots were 3, 8 of 14, 6 of his 7 shots were 3s, so on and so forth. He is a 3-point, catch and shoot type guy off the bench for Butler and Curry. Actually, I think he's had a few starts as of late as well. Also, let's see. Does Pods have any lines this morning? He does. Ooh, maybe this is the play. Not the points. Let's look at his threes. 1.5 threes for Brandon Podziemski. Minus 113 FanDuel. I think this is actually maybe my favorite angle to bet. Okay. I think this could be the one right here. Got hurt there. 29 minutes last game's return. He's locked into good minutes. His opportunity is pretty solid. He's actually played much better with Jimmy Butler there. I think just having the opportunity of one more person with some rotation intersecting time in the court where it's not just like Curry is somebody who can take attention from all these role players. Then Butler has some opportunity when Curry's off the court, and Pods still gets an opportunity to not be a central focus. And Pods can shoot. He can shoot from the outside. And as you're seeing in the volume here, he shoots a lot of threes when he gets on the court. So this is my one player prop pick for this game. We had to find it, and you watch me kind of working through it, and it might be a longer segment. It is what it is. I had to take a spread, so I took the Warriors minus 14. I don't mind taking Pods. This is on my short list absolutely tonight, over 1.5, 3. Final 2 games, Bulls and Kings. Kings are laying 6.5 points at home. Bulls are getting 7.5 on the road. They are playing some inspired ball as of late. I'll take the Bulls plus 7.5. Second leg of a back-to-back for both teams. 2 players I'm actually interested in. Let's look at Nikola Vucevic, and I want to look at his PRA again. We took this yesterday, 27.5. He easily cashed the over. He looks fully healthy, my friend. Second leg of back-to-back, probably the only reason why this is lower lines, but I don't totally get why, because we saw his minutes, climbing for the last several games, 29, 31, 30. You give him 30-ish minutes, and he's cashing the over an insane amount. I mean, this man is averaging 31.93 PRA per game, and we cashed it yesterday. I said, hey, stop looking at all this red. He's about to green out, and he did. He had 32 PRA against Phoenix. The matchup is fine. I mean, the Kings are playing a lot of Trey Lyles and Jonas Valanciunas. So, it's not like they're defensive stalwarts at the Stalwarts. Well, we'll find out. And I'm not even going to edit it out. You guys can tell me in the comments section. So Vooch over 27.5 PRA, absolutely in play for me. And before I get to another player prop in this game, do me a favor, my friends, please. If you're liking this show, like the show. Over 100 likes. Give me a few dozen comments down below. Some type of feedback, anything. I would love to hear what you think. This is the 4th episode of this show format. I enjoy doing them. It helps me through my betting process. I've had a pretty good week of betting, and I think hopefully this is helping you win money as the record. We are 26-9 in player props, 10-7 in game spreads. I mean, it's been a good week. Hopefully you're winning. But I'm going to go back here, and I'm just going to dive back into it. Kobe White, I want to look at. We've got, looks like a convoluted report on what's happening tonight with Giddey. So Billy Donovan said 2 days ago that Josh Giddey will be in a normal minute, but play just one of the 2 games, either Wednesday or Thursday. It won't be playing second leg of a back-to-back. Then last night, before the game, says, yeah, Giddey will be on normal minutes of 30 to 32 per Coach Donovan. I'm literally reading verbatim from the Underdog Twitter. And then Giddey could also play on the second end of a back-to-back on Thursday. So Tuesday, we heard that he wasn't going to play both games. And now last night, we heard he could play both games. So if he is out, goodness gracious, Kobe White props are way too low. I mean, he was 24.5 yesterday, scored 24 points with Giddey on the floor. No Ayo still, no Lonzo. And if Giddey's out, this line will be an absolute steal. So, Price Picks 22.5. And it's actually not a terrible play with Giddey being active as well. Here's the 22.5 line. Again, it's because they're missing bodies left and right. Giddey missed a bunch of these games as well. But last night against Phoenix, 35 minutes, 18 field goal attempts, went 3 for 9. Not even like a super efficient night from downtown. Not bad, though. And he still scored 24 points against Phoenix. Can he go out there and score 23 tonight? even with Giddey on the floor? I think he could. I don't mind it whatsoever. I think I like the Vucevic angle a little bit better. That's just a better prop for him, but that's certainly on the short list. A sneaky one for me, though, is going to be Kevin Huerter for his points tonight. Oh my goodness. So I'm going to be real with you. I have posted this officially inside my Discord. Yeah, this is one of my 2 early morning official picks. I posted 2 at like 6:45 a.m. Eastern, and Kevin Huerter, 11.5 points. We had really good odds. Was one of my top 2 picks of the morning through my first look. We got this at minus 120 odds on ESPN, and you can see ESPN has moved to minus 130. Looks like that might be the best odds you're still getting across the rest of these books. Fliff moved it to 12.5. Unfortunately, Onyx 12.5 plus 100, not bad. Rebat minus 150. So the exchanges are getting wrecked. So it looks like I really got potentially some really good closing line value for my VIP Discord. So we'll look at Huerter, and we're going to look at him at 11.5, and we can look at 12.5. And here it is. I mean, he's playing a lot of minutes right now, and he's averaging almost 15 points per game over the last 10. This is post All-Star break. This is without Lonzo. This is without Ayo, and he's locked in. Giddey returned last night, and he still played 32 minutes, and he took another 11 field goal attempts. And what I love here is almost the majority, like 65% of his field goal attempts this year, or since the All-Star break, have been from downtown. That's like all he shoots. 11 of his 12 shots from 3, 10 of his 12 shots from 3, 6 of his 9 from 3, 9 of his 15, 8 of his 10, 7 of his 9, 9 of his 13, so on and so forth. This is what he does. He just catches and shoots deep threes. And listen, the Kings give up a ton of points. It doesn't matter if Giddey's active. Clearly, he's going to play the minutes. If Giddey ends up being out and they run a 9-man rotation, last night they essentially ran a 9-man rotation with Giddey. I think Dalen Terry, or whatever his name is, played 5 minutes as the 10th rotational player. But essentially, he didn't even do it. It doesn't barely even count. So if he doesn't play, Giddey does not play, and then Dalen's getting 8 to 10 minutes max or something. Who cares? Huerter, 30 plus minutes, 10 plus field goal attempts, lock and load, man. I love the over 11.5. And let's be real, the over 12.5 is not a terrible play either at plus odds. I did not mind that at all. So that is totally on my short list. Should be on your short list. That was one of my 2 official picks. All right, Bucks and Lakers. Probably the game y'all wanted me to talk about right off the rip. We got the Bucks laying 3 points on the road against the Lake Show. I don't get it. We took the Lakers last night, plus 105 money line on this show, and I'm running it back. They're getting 4.5 points at home. The Lakers are getting 4.5 at home. I don't understand. I don't care if LeBron's not there. Lakers have won 3 straight games without LeBron. They have the 3rd best record in the NBA at home. And this is why I took them yesterday against the Nuggets at home. And that's even when I thought Jokic and Murray were going to play. I said the only 2 teams with better records at home this year, Thunder and Cavs. Legitimately, the 3rd best record in the NBA is the Los Angeles Lakers at home. They are 28-7. They've won 3 in a row without Bron. Their team is playing good basketball without him, shockingly. Meanwhile, the Bucks are 14-18 on the road. They have a losing record. They are the only team in the, I almost said the AFC, man, football, 24/7, 365. They're the only team in the Eastern Conference in the top 6 seeding to have a losing record on the road. Unbelievable. Makes no sense. Makes no sense why they're favored here. We're going to get Doncic. We're going to get Reeves, and that's all they need, apparently. It's crazy. So give me the Lakers plus 4.5 at home tonight. I love that play. And if we're going to talk about player props, we got to go right to 2 players in this game. And it's going to be starting off with Austin Reeves, and I'm going to look at his RA. We posted this earlier this morning for Discord at 11.5. Great odds right now, minus 110. We got it at minus 105. I did a nice long write-up for my Discord. This was my VIP pick. Let's see. Let me zoom out a little bit for you. So I posted this for Discord earlier this morning. It's an official play. I got all my notes here, stats, all this stuff I liked for it. Posted it for the Donuts Picks link down below. $15 first 30 days. Not just my plays. Yes, I'm the front man. You see me, I might get you in the door. People stay because I have 8 other cappers and 15 premium channels in the Discord. A couple of them extremely popular cappers too. So make sure you check that out if you need a little help. But Austin Reeves, 11.5 RA. He's cashed the over in 7 of 9 games this year without Bron. Several of those games here, you're looking at the last 5-6 games without LeBron and having Luka. 18 RA against Brooklyn. 11 against Milwaukee, whom he's playing again right now. 21 against the Nuggets, 10 against Phoenix in a blowout, 13 last 2 games. And the minutes have been there. I also talked about this. He is starting the fourth quarter rotations, regardless of if it is a blowout or not. 36, 36, 39, 39, 36, 36 in those 6 games without Bron and Luka being active. The Bucks are giving up the second most rebounds in the NBA to both point guards and shooting guards, so it doesn't matter what you want to qualify him as. They've been starting Goodwin at point guard for what it's worth, but we all know there's no such thing as that in the NBA, really, when you've got guys bringing up the ball like Luka at forward. So it is what it is. It's hard to quantify them, but he's going to get some long rebound opportunities. I think Reeves probably ends up having some opportunities at racking up a ton of assists in this game, because it's going to be a very close game. And when these guys are playing 40 minutes in tight games, again, like 39 minutes, I'm okay if I can go down swinging and missing with 11 and hooking. I'm fine with that. It's these that kill me. It's the 5s, the 6s, where I just feel like the read was horrendous. No. He's had 10 plus in all 9 games without Bron. He's at 11 plus in 8 of the 9 without Bron, and he's at 12 plus in 7 of the 9 without LeBron. So you're going to get him for a ton of minutes. You're going to get the opportunity. Potential assists and rebound chances have been sky high without LeBron James all year, and that's including with Luka. What I love the most tonight, and I'm going to be real with you, I didn't say this to my VIPs, but I'm telling you now, his assist prop opened higher tonight than it did last night, and he's at 11.5 again. So make that make sense. They're clearly saying there's a good shot for him to have more assists tonight. So yeah, I like this a lot. All right, again, I need your help. Please, by all means, if you are enjoying this show, I need you to show me. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and then tune back in Friday morning, and I will be sure to give you 1 pick for every game, 1 player prop for every game, and I'll entertain you as best that I can, my friend. I do appreciate you for watching. If you're one of the OGs, I love you. Thank you for being here always, regardless of what I'm doing, how I'm doing in life, and how much time I can invest on YouTube. And if you're new to the channel, thank you for checking it out. I do appreciate that immensely. If you could drop a like or a comment, thank you. And if you sub today, man, do I love you. I appreciate you. Welcome to the family. Grab those links down below if you need any help, and I will catch you tomorrow morning, my friends. Let's get paid.